Hi all, welcome to this new episode of In Conversation with Ranjit Nair, where we head to the journey of to be. To be is a journey of oneself while becoming his or her aspirations. And in today's journey, I have with us Varun Thomas. Hi Varun.
Hi.
Varun is an entrepreneur and he has recently started his company 𝘠𝘢𝘢. 𝘠𝘢𝘢 is a travel-based company which focuses on enhancing the experience of travelers in such a way that they get seamless experience across any destinations that they go. So Varun's company provides products and services to enhance their travel experience. And in today's discussion, today's conversation, we will get to know from Varun how he being an employee in a service industry to now being an entrepreneur, what's his journey has been as a person, how he has evolved, and what he thinks of himself after growing this 2-3 years of an entrepreneurship. So welcome to this journey in conversation with me. Thanks for joining this in conversation with me, Varun. And Varun, we will get into the conversation. And I know you currently, as you sit in front of me, you are an entrepreneur. You have started your own company, which is your current reality. But few years back, as I know from you, you were in a very different reality. It was like, where I believe you were in an IT company working in an IT role, correct? Can you give us some understanding of what you were at that point of time?
Yeah. So I was basically working as a software architect, right? So I mean, it's a regular job. You go for a 9 to 5 job or a 11 to 7 job, right? So what happened? See, I was not really intending to do a startup or something, and I was just like, it's like a normal job, right? So one of my friend actually, he had this entrepreneur thing in him from a very long time, right? His family is from the business background, and he really loved to start the business from a very long time, right? So he's almost of the same age of me. So he started. It's almost like 10 years before, like when he passed out from the college itself, he wanted to do a business. So how he started was like he started helping his friends to do the business. Then he did something by his own, like around 2012 or something. So 2017, we started working together. I never had an intention of doing any startup or something. I was just like thinking it's a normal job. So, and we became very good friends. And so at one point of time, he actually pitched to me saying that, look, you are good in what you are doing, right? And I really have that business passion in me. Right. So if we club together, right, why can't we do something?
So when you were making this decision, like, did you have any insecurity, like, oh, I'm going to make?
100%. So you won't believe the amount of insecurity which I had, right? Because see, I mean, this generation, right? At least, we have a habit like how much ever we make, we spend it, right? Or even we spend on top of that, you spend on credit cards. So whether this is a never-ending problem. I still remember when I was a fresher, when I was working with you, I get hardly make some money, right? When you are a fresher. That same thing, even after 15 years, I would have made 10 times more than that, 10 or 15 times more than that. But I still have the same, your end of the day, your wallet or your saving. It's like that. You are tempted to spend more money. That's a scenario which all you, if you are not satisfied with a 2 bedroom, you go and buy a villa. You go and buy a 3 bedroom. You after 7 years, you dump your car. You buy a new car. So all these things, and that's how I am typically also. I like to do shopping in Amazon, spend all my money. So you have a financial burden behind you. That is one first and the foremost thing. And I
You
have
have a
got two kids.
lifestyle. You have a lifestyle which you want to continue with.
I have a lifestyle which I want to continue. Then luckily for me, my wife was also working. But like I said, how much our money we make, whether both of you are working or not, we are tempted to spend the most. Most of us, there are certain people who are very punctual, and they're very
But
methodological.
judicious with their money, they save
Judiciously,
it.
they keep the money, they save it. I got a lot of friends, especially after this. I'll tell you about that later. But this is how I was also. So I cannot even think of quitting the job. That is for sure. That's how it was. But then we had a lot of ideas at that time. He also was genuinely thinking like, should we quit the job? Should we do it as a part-time? Can we keep some people around us and let it run? So that was the greatest thing. So it was never in my mind to quit the job and then go into full-time startup at that particular time. That's how it was, out there.
So I have a question here, Varun. Like while you were doing this, because you were still in that service industry mindset. So this part of it, did it came naturally to you, or you had to build something?
Service industry also there was a mix actually. So my friend actually, or my co-founder, he was from Yahoo. So he was in the products division. And then what we did, another couple of good things that we did. So that time we joined some clubs of the product managers. So in Bangalore, there are a lot of clubs, some clubs, not a lot of clubs, and some elite clubs are there where product managers come and talk, right? So that time, so we go for even weekends and all, especially Saturdays, we go for a seminar or a webinar. Seminar at that time, it's not webinar much. So where we can register for 500 rupees and all, you register and there will be a talk session. So I think I still remember one of the first talks which we went was 𝘠𝘰𝘧𝘪𝘴 CTO. Vikal, there was a guy. So he came and talked about how 𝘠𝘰𝘧𝘪𝘴 evolved. And there we had around 20-25 people who are the product managers working in different companies, or they are the founders or co-founders. So what happens is that when you talk to them and start interacting with them, your mentality starts changing from a
you get a shift.
You get a shift.
Changes.
Correct.
So I have a question here. Like you are now fully, when you still like your mindset is now fully into business. Like you have grown into it. You're talking that language now. Correct. You have evolved in your mindset now. So my question to you is like, and you're still doing your job. You're still doing your job while you're evolving like this. Correct. Yeah. So my question to you is, what made you to quit your job, which you were so much clear that you did not want?
Correct. So once you are into this, right, then you see a structure on where you can be, right? So once you are in here, then at one point of time, so like I said, it's possible for me. Initially you are in a lot of doubt that you are there. First thing what I did was I tried to work on my financials. I called my wife around and said that, look, we have not done a planning. There are certain people whom I know who had done planning for 10 years and then quit the job. But we have not done any planning literally, right? Because we have enough things. So I asked her like, see, you get this much of salary and you may have to, because I may be focusing on this thing, your career focus, you may have to shift a little bit towards the family because I may be fully involved in it. Are we ready for it, right? If at all there is no financials that is going to come for the next couple of years, right? Are we ready for it? So then we listed it down, we just look at our finance sheet and, said that, see, my car loan is going to end in like a couple of years, but I still have, my car is still in good condition. So that means I don't have to buy a new car. Then
you were checking out your finances, what state it is, and somewhere coming to an assuring state that finance-wise we need to operate in a certain way, kind of.
Correct. So yeah, finance was the first thing that we sorted it out. So once finance is sorted out, and there were a little bit of savings that we do. We said that we don't have to do it now. We'll do a minimal saving for the emergencies. And so your finance thing is sorted out, right? And then you know by yourself that okay, I can do something. I can reach somewhere. And third factor was that we cannot do it part time. That was becoming very clear.
Realizing that it cannot be done part time.
It cannot be done part time. So we tried a lot. Then we know that a full time commitment is required to do it. And so all these three factors actually it came to our mind, and then both of us quit the job. I think he was.
So essentially, it was like the financial preparedness that you did with yourself. And then you also with the growth that you have put yourself in that business too, that you are growing and you are changing.
The third thing, and you have confidence in you at that time that you can crack it.
And the third thing you said, like, it cannot be done part time with the amount and energy that required. it's something like full time you need to focus on.
Full time is required. Correct. So that's how that shift happens. So finally you go and say one day to the office that I'm quitting the job. Then everybody will be like, hey, you're going to do a startup, man. Wow, cool, man. So we know the things like, what's going. It's all cool, but we know it's not that cool because you have like
there is a lot of legwork that is going on.
yeah. So the experience.
So,
correct.
So my question now is like, so when you stepped into this first year after quitting the job, and you are all having the drive, you are kind of seeing everything in you building towards that. So how was your first year like experience when you got into it? How was your first year experience?
First year was only about mistakes. Okay, so again, I told you, we come from that corporate world, right? So our thinking is like, we need to have, like I said, we were a very frugal company. Still, we wanted to go for a marketing team. So we went and signed a contract with a marketing company. We wanted to have the legal review. So we went and signed a contract with the legal company. We wanted some API. So we went and found out some company who gave us some APIs to build our product. Only mistakes that we did, and everything failed. You won't believe that.
See, mostly it was all mistakes made.
Mistakes. It's only about mistakes, and everything got into some bad shape. Then we realized one thing was that, we both had a taste, and we wanted certain things to be done in that way, and most of that supporting functions which we required, if it wants to be in our standard, then we have to pay a fortune, right? And that was not working out. So if you don't pay that much of money, all you get is that supporting functions are like, you get a low standard supporting functions like marketing or legal or whatever it is, and we are never satisfied with it. So then we shifted our strategy a little bit. Then we said like, okay, let's only do it in house, okay, and use our brain, but use some hands. Okay, so that's the way.
Helping hands.
Yeah. Correct. So what we did was we started working with freelance. We didn't again sign the permanent employees, but we had all these functions within us, but with the help of some freelancers and some people who are interns, for example. Now I have interns even working from IIMs actually. You just think about it. What are we? We are just a startup, and we are not that high paying companies or something like that, but I get even interns from IIMs to work with me. I had a bunch of around 6-7 people who recently worked with me as interns, and now I have a couple of guys who are actually working with me. So you have to go and hunt basically and find out people who connect with you. See, these 2 interns who stayed back with me from IIM, they connected with our vision. So they said that look, Varun, we love to work with you. Then even that guy, one of the guy has got an offer from Marriott actually. So we told them like are you really sure about it? This is a very frank conversation which we had. Are you really sure about it? Because you got an offer from Marriott, and then you are telling me that you are leaving all this and coming for a company like us. He said that look, I know what you guys are doing, and I believe in it. So you have to make them, or we didn't purposefully do anything. They believed in us because they saw our passion in us, vision. And now our whole team, right, we have got around 10-15 people who are floating crowd. Full life teas are only 5 people including us, so all of them are connected to our vision. So then they become a part of your company, right? They really work with you. So then they forget about the money, they forget about the lifestyle. We are in this together, and we also feel the same with them, right? We wanted to take them along with us as we grow, and that thing really worked out well. Now it's so if you see, like, now it has become more like you again, this time you are growing it a little bit as your leader, and so certain things, this and all, would not have been possible for me in a corporate, because they how to influence people. So the learning comes pretty quickly over here is what
So future, like when you think about future, Varun, like your whole focus was on the future that you're creating, correct?
Correct.
So how do you look at the future? Like, how do you look like at that point when you're motivating, or when you are kind of getting the confidence yourself? So what was the outlook of the future for you at that time?
See, I'll tell you one thing. I'm now also I'm very clear that we are going to succeed. That is one thing. Whether
It's
I don't
clear.
know how it's clear that's almost in my mind, that it's clear that there is no way that it can fail. Okay, as a concept, as a product, because we have validated it enough with a lot of people, in a lot of seniors. Now, where it can cause a delay, right, is in the execution phase, right? How you reach that particular place. Maybe I'm not good, my co-founder is not good, or we have to hang in there. We have to learn. See, the problem is that, right, we are in a phase where we are learning from each mistake. So that learning process is a time-consuming process. So if I go and do my second startup, maybe I will be much more successful because I already learned it enough. But this is a journey where I am going to get my first 100 customers now, right? So this first 100 customers also I'm learning now. So that learning process means there is a delay in the whole thing, but I know that there is a success coming, and that will keep you, ready for the work every day morning. And right.
So when you look
So
at this
now,
first year, like when you look at this first year with mistakes and you had this drive and you're focusing on learning, correct? You said learn. So in this first year, as an entrepreneur, as someone who is running this startup or a business, like what was your learnings, like biggest learnings while you were making the mistakes and coming through that stage?
see, it's all about a lot of, I think that's what I was saying, like, you need a lot of mental preparedness for this. I don't say tech learning or something. So what I did was I divided my whole strategy into 4 different pillars, right? So first one, it's not related to startup as it, but as a person, right, going through this phase, right? First thing, I put my first pillar, I gave a lot of importance to spirituality, right? So I'm a Christian, so I our own theologies and other things, I started reading a lot about it. So that will take you to the history of all this. So, and your spiritual, it's like, we always believe in God, right? Most of us. So that spirituality is one pillar which I was very much I wanted to do that. So that is one pillar. Second thing, I focus on my health, because what happens here, it's a mental torture, right? Not mental torture, I would say, but it's a mental pressure is there, right? When you do that. So second thing, I focus on my health. I go for every evening, especially after this time, there was a lockdown and all those things. But every evening, me and my wife go out with the dog. We have a pet dog also. And we spend quality time, like almost like a 1 hour, we spend quality time together. Morning, I go for cycling with my kids, or sometimes I go with my friends out. So that is second pillar. Third thing, I focus on reading a lot about the startups, like for example, leadership, finance, products. That reading habit has actually came into me a lot because of this. I was not, I didn't read much things actually when I was working. And here why you read it also is because you can apply it into your life, or you can apply it into your startup the next day. We are impatient guys, right? We want to do it then and there. It's like bang. Now I want to do it. That's it. So here, when you learn, you get some ideas and you want to implement it. You want to test it out. There is an option for you to do it. So
the
financial.
third pillar was a new one for you. You never did that much reading, but you started doing it as part of this.
I would say all the and there is a fourth one is where I wanted to go a little bit deep into my expertise area. For example, if you are a sales guy, then you should go deep into the sales, and for me it was tech. I was a software architect by profession, so I spend a lot of time reading about the tech. Where is the tech going? Where is blockchain or whatever? I mean, the new tech, edge computing. So I do it so that I don't forget where I came from, or that is my core strength, where I have worked for 15 years, right? So I divided all my whole thing into 4 pillars, and then I started looking at the gains in each of these pillars, right? For example,
you had this clarity, you secured this clarity of having this 4 important things as part of your life, which is you mentioned as about health is one, then you mentioned about spirituality, then about reading, and then about your tech going deep into. So you were clear that these are the 4 things which will really give you that success, which is going to come to you.
And the end success is something that we cannot measure now, because it's going to come and we are clear in their mind. But anything which you climb the ladder in these 4 pillars, right? that is going to give you a lot of happiness. So, for example, if I learn something about finance, for example, right, that's a gain, and I know that okay, if I divide my money into this thing, I should not get into a debt, I should not buy a house if it is there is no profit. So that is a gain which I never had that knowledge in me, and this is a small step. And then end of the day, when you look back, right, I would have gained at least one step in any of these pillars, one step up the ladder in any of these pillars, which will give me the satisfaction to go back to bed and say that, okay, you have done
in
something.
ways, if you are stepping up in any of this ladder, means you are stepping closer to the success.
Closer to the success. Yeah.
When you have this clarity of this 4 pillars now, and when you see like you are growing now after this first year of mistakes, now you are stepping into a different phase. So this clarity about this 4 pillars that you are working on, how did it help you in the subsequent phases? Like, how did it help you?
It's an ever-growing thing, that 4 pillars, I have not completed it, so I'm still in that stage, and now I get a lot of other ideas to help the people out. For example, now if I gain some knowledge in finance, for example, now I have got a friend who's running in debt, who's in debt for a very long time. His credit card bills, home loans, a lot of problems. So I go and try to help them out, right? Not like really giving a gyan or something, right? But just go out and say like, hey, how are you doing? And we work out certain things, and my knowledge can actually help others. That is one way. For example, spirituality. Even many couples who had difference in family issues and all, we were able to help them in saying that how to overcome it, just as a friend, not as a counseling or something, just as
in
a
many
friend.
ways this is all you are doing as a person, because you're growing in knowledge, you're growing in your awareness, and you are taking that to people and helping them in different way as you were not doing earlier, but now you can do it because you have this awareness.
Tech calls. I'll say, coming to the career or tech calls. So that I said one of the pillar is tech, right? So what I do is like I do free trainings to people, even my people, or I just help them out with the latest technologies. Even some of my ex-colleagues, right, from the companies where I worked, they were all they want to become an architect, some want to become a tech lead. They call me and talk with me for half an hour. So and I tell them like, this is what you have to do. So I mean, this knowledge in whatever you are gaining, right, it will help you in around the people, for the people around you, your own startup, your own growth.
And how does it feel?
This is success.
How does it feel like? Because how does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's of course, that's what I was saying. So end of the day, there is no appreciation from a manager to come. Nobody, right? End of the day, you have to give a pat on back to yourself and say that you have done a good job today, right? So this measuring, right, it actually helped me a lot, and it's still helping me every day. I see that am I doing something related to this, right, in my career. And of course, I see the base pillar is your family. There is no exception to that. Your parents, your friends, not family and friends, I would say. You need to see some people. I see another thing. What's happening is that when they do a startup, they really go nuts. They fully focus on this thing. You talk business. I don't usually talk to the people like the way I told you now. I never say like I go with. I try to be the same person what I was there, with when we meet for a beer or something, right? Not talking anything fun do, because we don't want to feel like nerd out there, right?
Correct.
So you just be that regular casual person who will talk about something politics or whatever it is. So that's how. So family and friends are very important. Their support is something. Without that support, I really feel if I one day also, right, for example, if we don't set that family thing right, then your whole focus will go away.
Lost. Yeah.
Whatever pillar you make, right? You say like, I got 4 pillars. Some people have had 1 pillar, 2 pillar, 3 pillar, whatever it is, right? How much ever you grow, your foundation, I believe, is the family, and that is so important in a startup. We are family people, so some people may not be married and other things, but I think that relationships, family and friends, are very important for the growth, right? And if that is not set properly,
you said it's a foundation, like that's the fundamental foundation. When you are any pillars you create on top of it, but the foundation pillar is that family and friends.
Family and friends, yeah, there's no doubt. And this is my personal opinion, but I think people may differ in their opinions. But my personally, what I feel, and I've seen with my, my only close relationship nowadays is with my co-founder, because that's where we spend a lot of the time. I've seen him also, right? If things are pretty much any disturbance in the family for that sake, then we get shaken. All these pillars get shaken, including your success gets shaken, right? Because so this is my, so I try to spend nowadays. What I do nowadays is that I stop working by around 6:30 or something. I don't work after that. Morning I start a little early. Then kids anyway will study there. They have their homework and other things, right? So I try to of course we go for our walk and other things, but after that I try to spend time with the kids when they were doing their homework. And I just read my Kindle or my books. We all, it's like a studying time.
It's a very conscious. It's a very conscious thing that you're doing, wherein your family also you are balancing, while at the same time you're working on those 4 pillars other than family also. It's a very conscious balancing act that you are doing.
I was initially, if you ask me, Ranjit, I was very confused. Okay, I don't know what I was doing. I was like, sleeping late, and then kids. I have to take, at that time schools were there, so I have to take them to schools. A lot of things were disturbed. So then I sat down one day, and then I made this pillar. Right, it's not from any book or any framework. Actually, this is something which I believed in. What are the things I like? I like theology. I would love to spend some time there. I love health. I like to do cycling. My cycling is my biggest hobby. So I want to do my cycling. I want to focus on that. I want to spend some time there. I wanted to focus on my startup. So that is my, of course, my career growth or whatever it is. I want to spend on that. And fourth thing, I want to go deep into my tech. So these are all my very conscious things which I did.
Your own choices.
Own choices. It's all. Everybody will have their own framework, to do that. Else you get disturbed. Now if you put these things into the right buckets and say that, then I'm not. So if I don't spend some time in, let's say, one of the angles, like let's say I'm not spending time in theology, for example. It's okay, because I know that one pillar it may be down, but I'm focusing on other pillars. But
you have that clarity which helps you to know what you are doing, and that settles you. That settles you in many ways.
Yeah, because it's not a 9-to-5 job. And entrepreneurship is not a 9-to-5 job. You get pulled into 100 things. You need to have that mental. I would say the mental maturity is something that we need in an entrepreneurship. I not anything else. You don't need to have a great idea. You don't need to have the great presentation skills. You don't need to be a salesperson, marketing, nothing. I would say that you're mentally how much fit you are is what will drive you.
So how would you define mental maturity?
See, mental maturity, it comes with, you should know how to handle the things, and you should not you should not, I don't know how to tell that, earlier days and all, we say people who are like very tough people, we say like, he's a very tough person, man, let's not go. Okay, let's say for example our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, we say that he's a very we don't know, none of us know him personally, but look wise he's very bold person, or he's a very stubborn person, like or for example our Chief Minister of Kerala, they are all very stubborn people. They are born to fight, they are born to live, so that's what I see as a mentally so if there is a, let's say, I remember there was a Kerala floods out there, right? 2018, there was a big flood out here. People are literally dying, they don't have thing and all. This guy is coming on the TV, cool. Some of the MLAs were actually crying, saying that my people are dying, please save, call army, call navy and all. This guy was pretty cool. He came and told, like, see, look, there is a problem that we are trying to address it, right? In whatever best way we can. So no, without an emotion, that is his maturity. And I call that as a maturity, a mental maturity.
So he does not, so basically not letting emotions disturb you, instead letting the emotions support you in what you want to do for the people, or what you want to do for yourself.
Yeah, I would say up to that. And everything, if sales is doing good, don't get too excited about it, because you know that it may fail at one point of time, right? If the sales is going too low also, you need to have that confidence that, okay, it will come up. It's only thing is that why it is going wrong. And if at all it's going high, what is actually, why it is going high? You need to ask the question when it is going high. so that you learn from it and then you correct it yourself. I'm at this.
Basically, you're saying, like, if I understand it right, Varun, like when you say mental maturity, it's like you're aware of what's happening, but you're at the
Yeah,
same time also aware that in the scheme of things, overall thing that is happening, this is just a step. This is just a step
correct,
in the overall scheme
correct.
of thing, and take it that way. Don't make it
Take it.
as the overall scheme of thing and drive yourself emotionally up or down with it. Just take it
No,
as
yeah,
one step off and
correct,
be
correct.
with this emotional maturity, Varun, now you have, which is your key gain. Like, how are things now? Like, how are things now for you?
See, we ourselves got matured a lot in the last 1 year. After that, so whatever we talked about was the first year. The second year, what happened is that when I say the first year was mistakes, second year we realized what were the mistakes and we corrected it a lot. Right? We matured ourselves in terms of product, in terms of sales, in terms of marketing, everything we got matured. I would rather say after my 2 years of entrepreneurship, like last Jan, I still remember talking with my co-founder and said, like, I think, brother, this is the time when we are actually starting.
Okay.
Last 2 years,
And
it
why
was,
would you say that? Why would you say that? Like, we are starting?
see, now we have reached a stage where people are getting connected to what we are selling.
Mm.
Okay, what is our dream? We know how to talk to them. We know how to deal with it. We know how to handle failures. We know how to handle success.
Mm.
We know how to, if there is a problem, we know how to deal with it, right?
So now, in many ways, you now belong to this world. Belong to this
Correct.
world.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't remember my old world, frankly. Unless and until some of my old colleagues call and say, like, hey Varun, they are asking me to switch from Java to .NET. I am a Java guy. How can I switch to .NET? Then only I will think, okay, there was something,
Mm.
So that's the only time when I connect back to those kind of things. But of course, and I nowadays when I give a thing, when I tell people also, but see, whoever we work with, right? We want to make them think business. I usually, even though he's a tech guy, for example, he's my very core tech lead also, I teach him business only nowadays. I mean, I don't tell him to become like a tech guru or something. I say, you see a business, you become a tech guru, but you see how you can how you can sell your tech guru thing, right?
Mm.
Like even for a teacher, even my cousins and say, like, oh, I'm just an English teacher in a primary school. What entrepreneurship can I do and all? I say, like, look, uh, why can't you start a school? I mean, think about it. I mean, in your own field, right? Think how you can succeed big,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you love what you're doing, if you're a teacher, you love you're doing. So entrepreneurship is not about you have to be a tech guy, or you need to have that business thing. Anything what you do in this world, Ranjit, I would say, like, if you love painting, there is always a business in it. I'm talking more like a businessman now, but this is
That's
in
what
my
you are. That's what you
yeah,
said.
yeah,
Like from Jan onwards, that's the change that you have seen. Like wherein
yeah.
for everything you now think from that perspective. That's the change in thought process that has happened to you.
Yeah. So now when I talk to you also, I don't, and I was not prepared to talk to you in any mode, but naturally it's coming to me that, I'm thinking in that way, and
Mm.
for me, now, that this is another, another side effect to it is that now if I have to spend 100 rupees, for 100 rupees in India is not a big thing now. So if I have to spend 100 rupees, I think why I should spend that 100 rupees,
Mm.
right? Because it comes to you naturally, and I've seen. Uh, I don't know, is it? But when I discuss with other people around in the business circle, they say that they are all multi-rich. They all come in an Audi or a Mercedes, but they still go and fight for 100 rupees or 200 rupees, because that is how it's built. It's a small things that you put into your body,
It's the value,
which
value of it.
and you care for it. You care a lot about money, because money is what it is all about. The business is about a lot of money. So you need to be careful about the money. If you're about to make money also, you have to be careful about money. So I learned a lot of things in every aspect, that's why I love to be here. So last time when you met me also, you asked me, like, is this going to be your career, right? Or have you decided that you are going to be here? I want to be here, unless and until there is something very different thing happening. I want to be here because this is you see the world in a very different way.
This is, in
You
many ways, it excites you also, isn't it? Like this is something which.
oh, don't believe the amount of passion that we carry. Or you talk to any co-founder, any founder for that sake, any entrepreneur. You go to NASCOM and all, you see the passion. It's that atmosphere is filled with passion. Some of them will be doing mistakes. Some of them would have to shut down there because of their mistakes. Of course, there'll be mistakes. But as long as you can hang in there, right, through financially and without much pressure from outside, you will succeed one day because everybody is learning. I know you take any entrepreneur for that sake, every day he will be learning 10 times more faster than other guys. When I say entrepreneurs, I'm not saying tech entrepreneurs, startup guys. I never used the term startup with you till this time. I consciously haven't used the term startup because I believe that it's business. Startup and all are like fancy terms which you can describe to grow a massive scaling company. But in a business, you find from a coconut vendor to the CEO, to the high-end tech company, you see everybody will talk business.
From where you are now, Varun, from where you are right now, and as a person, what is that you look forward for in this journey as a person?
Well, see, this is a question which we both, again, we discuss a lot about this in the company, right? As a person, should we be, let's say our company grows into a good shape, right? Are we the right people to lead this company? That is one way in a career-wise. I don't think we have an answer to it yet. We may be or may not be. Right now, we know that we can deal with some level of growth. We both are matured enough to handle it. After that, we may have to leave it to somebody else and be a silent partners or whatever it is. That we will see at that particular time. So we would of course love to lead the companies and as a leader for this particular firm or any other firm that we are doing. Also, we want to diversify a little bit. We want to diversify. I got a personal community space which I'm starting now. It's called a startup architect. So where I'm trying to bring. So all those founders who are not tech guys, right? For example, somebody's doing a non-tech. He's a non-tech founder. I'm trying to bring him to a pool of architects who can help him, design his digital journey. Yeah, it's a free, of course. That is one of the initiatives which I am doing. So like that, I would love to spend some time in helping others. That's where I see it's going.
So you have good clarity in terms of your current business and current setup, how you want to take it forward as a person, what you believe to be.
Yeah.
And second is your contribution in helping others. From whatever you are gaining from here, whatever you're learning, you see yourself in some or the other way helping people.
Correct.
Great.
Yeah. That I'm in. That's some of the dreams. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So Varun, we will take a pause and we will stop here. But that was brilliant to know your journey entirely. And it is amazing to see that like what you started with, like being a cool life. It was more about you will get more money out of it. You will spend money on it. Like it will just become more better for you. From there onwards to now, the clarity that you have, not only in terms of how you want to run your business, what you want to do with it, but you have extended yourself in terms of your role for the community as well, like how you want to step out, how you want to help them with whatever you have got and what you will get in the journey forward. So that's an amazing shift, and I believe that's what you call as the emotional maturity or the mental maturity, correct?
Not consciously, but I think that's what it happened over the last 3 years, maybe.
Correct. So it's an amazing thing, and I think it's so good to know your journey, like how you have gone through it. I'm sure like many people would connect to it, relate to it, because this is a constant phenomenon now. So thanks a lot, Varun. Thanks a lot for giving me this time and taking the time to have this conversation with me. So this was wonderful. So to all the viewers, I hope with Varun's conversation, you could get an understanding of what it takes in different states, in different phases of life, to go through a journey of from going from a service industry to an entrepreneur. And as Varun shared in different phases and different shades, like what it takes, what kind of mechanism you need to build within yourself to get that clarity and awareness to settle you as an entrepreneur, and not only settle you, but take that settlement to grow yourself emotionally so that you think big, you think beyond yourself. And I think that's what Varun is looking forward for as part of his journey as an entrepreneur. So I hope as I enjoyed, you also enjoyed with me this amazing conversation with Varun Thomas. Until next time, goodbye. Thank you very much.